I think everybody should learn as many languages.
Or
You want me to just give you
like if you're going to
tape,
taper,
or she'll pick up on that.
but it is.
Point it that way.
Yeah, well, lab. Actually, you know what? We have an extension that'll probably be
Yeah, I know
better.
this pretty well.
I think we only really need to get Socrates' question. You don't have to get Socrates' question in high fidelity, perfect audio surround sound. Are you in? You go outside.
Right. So, you asked
You all set?
I'm all set. I've got my questions here and looking forward to the interview.
Be stuck with that for fifth grade. And just leave it like that, or should I sort of alternate the names of my favorite?
Ready when you were CB, yeah. I was up at 4 this morning, jet lag. I just got in from
This way?
University of Western Ontario doing a project on MakerCulture, and we're examining it from all kinds of different aspects, from food and culture to politics and history. And our group is issues and what's next for the future, which is really what you examined in your book. It's
Yeah, right up my alley.
one example of what could potentially happen. How closely do you think your book would parallel our future?
So I don't think it really is a book about the future. I think it's a book about, in fact, the recent past. It's really a parable about the dot-com crash. I lived in San Francisco through the boom and the crash, and I saw what happened when all the money left the system, and a lot of the people left too. But the people who stayed behind kept on making, even though there weren't Aeron chairs and foosball tables. They just kept doing it. And that was the most amazing thing for me. It was kind of, how the Grinch stole Christmas. And I guess the one thing that's always been missing from How the Grinch Stole Christmas is what the Who's thought when they came down, they didn't see the tree and decided to celebrate Christmas anyway. And I guess that's a little bit of the inspiration for this book, is what does it feel like to go on making even when the money's left the system and you're only doing it because it's a holy quest.
The culture is about sharing. Do you think that's a culture that's going to permeate the rest of society?
Yeah, I mean, I think that actually the sharing culture is, another word for it is the Enlightenment. Before the Enlightenment, we didn't have science, we had alchemy. The primary difference between science and alchemy is that every alchemist finds out for himself that drinking mercury is a bad idea. The advent of publication, of results, of outcomes, of public sharing of scientific information and knowledge was the Enlightenment. It was the great leap in human progress that ended the Dark Ages. And so, I think the sharing culture is already here and widespread. I think that there's a movement to enclose it, and a lot of people involved in the copyright fight have compared it to the enclosure movement, which was the movement to enclose the commons, the common area where people graze their sheep, and to privatize them and to turn them into places where someone could seek rent on their neighbors.
Do you think that kind of the legal boundaries are going to hinder the growth of the culture, of maker culture?
Well, I think they already are. I mean, you have on the one hand this idea that everything can be owned, and that everything should be owned, and that without ownership no one will do anything. And contrasting with that is this idea that sharing has a direct benefit to people who are making, which is that other people will help you make stuff. And these two philosophies are in some ways fundamentally irreconcilable. What am I most excited about? I don't know. That's a really good question. I guess I see 3D printers today as being in the kind of funky proto-PC stage, and I'm really looking forward to the laptop version.